Hello, this is me Ninja Zombie Zero here with the next interlude for between session 2 and session 3. It is being recorded on December 22nd, 2017, a few days after session 2, and this is also being recorded on the same day as interlude 1. A lot has changed since the end of the second session. There's not going to be any gameplay like the first interlude, so if you don't like me analyzing the situation or such, then Session 3 should be out soon-ish. I still need to upload the last bits of Session 1, the interlude, and this second session, which is 6 or 7 parts, I believe. A lot has changed since then. Um, I already talked about expansion in the first interlude. It hasn't changed that much, especially with the fish. In fact, even knowing about the fishing hasn't changed that much actually. I mean, besides us being able to work this seagrass, like going to our capital, um, not as much has changed. Our disease went down since the last interlude. Education went up. That will change once our population grows. I should have talked about that in the first interlude, but it wasn't relevant. As the population grows, well, more disease, more crime, more education. Crime, like I said, won't be an issue into our first cities because the guardian that we have actually is preventing crime, and he's pretty good at city defense. That's why I haven't been building units to defend, like where'd he go? Like the slingers, because they're good at city defense. Um, After Stark pretty much got stronger because we have prime timber now. That'll help later on. And we're learning barter, which will reveal luxuries. Some precious gems and gold and silver, and knowing this story, we probably might have some nearby, maybe in the hills, or maybe there'll be some near the Byzantines. Um, Going back to our capital, um, we picked up the first houses. Houses will replace each other once we get the tech. I believe carpentry, which we might research in the future, will give us more housing options. So our people are no longer homeless; they're living in bark huts and trees. Um, we have dance. I built storytellers to build dances, and they give bonuses. Um, it's a good idea to, at the very least, once you have the storyteller's hut and some other buildings, to build rain dance because it'll give food and other bonuses. We built the Venus of Windloaf. This gave us a population boost of 1, so we went from 1 to 2, and then we grew to 3, and it's pretty good. It doesn't expire. I'm not sure if future cities will be size 2 or not, but I don't think that's the case. Build stuff. Well, a lot of stuff because we couldn't explore anymore. This this stone tool maker that we researched last session will slowly expire once we get into the ancient era. We'll lose some of the science and gold making because we'll know how to make stuff out of metal. Storage pit, it wasn't necessary, but I needed it to make buildings. Barter will give us another option that I believe gets built on its own when he found cities, which is the barter post. So future cities probably won't have storage pits unless I really want a city to grow. Resource wise, we have stuff that we built naturally. Happiness isn't really an issue right now, or unhealth because we have so much excess health. we're making money, and we're growing at a decent rate because we have this this seagrass that we can harvest, and we have really good production. We did pick up um, our first personality traits were nomads. Well, let's go with the first one. Um, that's nomad. That's cruel. Are you gonna show imperialistic? There it is. We picked up imperialistic. This will give us a lot of happiness in our first 15 cities that we make, and whatever city is larger later on. We get some units. We get some city defense, which we pretty much need because we didn't build on a hill. This this we did make a forest, right? No, we built on a grassland. But if we did build on the forest, it would eventually get chopped away or burned. Man, I lost imperialistic. There it is. But more importantly, we will be able to make sailors faster, which will make our expansion easier. We'll produce it 50% faster, and rebellion this I don't really care about this time. We do get a diplomacy penalty, but it's the prehistoric era. We're not going to be at peace anytime soon. Then we picked up nomad. Actually, I need to go to the Civilopedia for that one, but let's see. Traits. There's a lot of traits that we can pick out of, and these are. I'm not sure about these. These are probably ancient era. Um, nomad. Um, any camps that we make get more food, more production, more commerce, which is useful. We can upgrade units, and we'll have flanking on our mounted units, our recons, any animals that we have. Hunters get woodsmen, and canines, which we're not going to be able to build for a while, will be a lot faster and all around stronger. We could build camps faster, and we'll be able to build some animal related buildings faster, including the Gur, which is part for our religion. But we also have cruel, which I think benefits us more than it hurts us. I mean, we get crime, but I believe in um, no, I think imperialistic also stops crime. If I can get it to show up, I really don't want to go back to it. No, it doesn't. But you can see we need a lot more culture to get our next personality trait. But we also have cruel, which doesn't hurt us. It actually benefits us more than it hurts us. We will have 5 happiness instead of 6, and we get some espionage, and we can build our captured fire a lot faster, but we also get more crime. And we actually can build our first. No, we can't. This requires North American where we don't have access to that. Even if we were to capture our nearby neighbors, this is for anyone that's part of the North American group. But we can build this captured fire a lot faster now. Not that I want to make that right now. We don't have a source of meat, so we can't really take advantage of a building that we can't take advantage of a building that would give us more production. Let's see. The Omega Child crew, because we need either a source of meat or fish or eggs but that would give us a lot more production. Gives us 5 production at this moment because we have these percentage bonuses that are boosting us, just like the outer console that we made. Give us 25% science boost. Okay, going back to that. Um, the The Byzantines, they picked up Druidic traditions, which is one of the three religions from the prehistoric era. If we were to look at that, it does give bonuses well once they build more cities, but it's a growth. I consider it a growth religion, just like shamanism. The only difference between the two is they gave different promotions for their um, cathedral and related things. So Druidic traditions, Druidic traditions give woodsmen and gorilla once they build a lot more cities and they can build these things. And shamanism will give them this totem pole, um, woodsman and gorilla also, but this helps animals more than not. And if they have animal resources, cities with shamanism will grow faster because they can build these invocation huts and temples. And Druidic traditions deals with food. I mean, like almonds, potatoes, rice, corn. Um, Byzantines will be able to take advantage of that with the rice they have nearby and some of these other stuffs once they are capable of expanding. But they also have protectionism, which combined with this hill tile will make attacking their capital a lot harder. And protectionism gives defensive bonuses. It can build walls faster, even though we none of us have access to that just yet. For like a protectionism, because I can't look at it from the espionage. I had to write it down between sessions. Protective, um, they get less war happiness. They get city garrison for their units. We get that naturally through the militia civic that we started with, but any future defensive units they build are going to be a lot tougher. They get more city defense, and they could build protective stuff a lot faster. Let's see. The Spanish, they picked up aggressive, which is the opposite of that. I'm not sure. Well, I'm pretty sure I know why, because they have this unknown civ that we don't know about. I think even if we were to find them, we won't be able to know what their first personality trait they picked up. But who knows? Maybe they're planning on taking Byzantines early. Who knows? But I don't think they're that much of a threat right now. They're also European culture, but they're way too far for us. Even if we were to capture them, I would probably just raise it if I really had to take out the Spanish. And the Dutch, they actually picked up the first. They picked up the first actual culture, even though it expires at the end of the ancient era. Is pretty strong. They picked up the Neanderthal culture. I mean, I sort of saw it coming because it requires stone. It gets obsolete at the ancient era, but it allows them to build these Neanderthal units, which are stronger and they cost more to make, but they're a lot tougher. Like if they had access to obsidian after they had a good production, then they could build these obsidian units, which are 6 strength, and the normal obsidian unit is 5 strength. So we're lucky they don't have obsidian in their near future. We're the nearest source, and it's on our capital. They also picked up more than just one trait. They picked up expansive, financial, and foreign. If we were to go back to traits, expansive I want to pick up next because it helps with making workers of all types. Um, it does grant unhappiness to the first 15 cities, but because we picked up imperialistic, it won't affect us that much. The experience gained within borders and great general chance is pretty much nearly negated because of our imperialistic and nomad traits. Wait, no, actually, that's the other way around. We won't see great generals when we're defending, but the we won't be that penalized from defending of getting experience from our defense from defending against future civs. But I like expansive because the we get reduced maintenance cost and we can make workers faster and harbors and ports which are useful in the ancient era. They also picked up financial, which I don't really care. I mean, I care a little bit about, but picking it up early is pretty bad actually because you get less city defense. It's more like something I'd pick up later down the line. They can't. I mean, it's decent. It's too early to pick it up, but it'll probably help us more than it'll help them because they're not built on a hill like the Byzantines. So even with the extra defense you get from culture, it'll be a little bit easier to take on the Dutch. It's just the Neanderthal culture that worries me a bit. And that's pretty much it. We know we can see fish now, and we have bamboo that our capital might be able to use later, and we know there's indigo here on on our choke point, so that we can build um, so that we can build the poison crafter's hut to use poison tips, which it won't help our hunters that much with subduing or any unit cap that tries to capture another unit, but it'll make them stronger. Um, that bamboo will allow us to eventually make a bamboo armors building, which will give us protection against archers a little bit. But that's pretty much it. I'll have a Once we get barter, I'll have an idea of where I want to settle first, but I definitely want to settle here first, then here. I would want to settle here early because, like I said, our cities start with just one tile to work with. And I really do want the indigo and the horses eventually. And we'll just probably go south. Probably pick up the resin because the resin's useful. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for this analysis too. Next episode will be to start up the third stream where we'll probably do a lot more than just idle through turns and watch a single slinger. Actually, I didn't talk about that. We can combine units, but for hunters, like I sent out trackers earlier in the well, early-ish in the last stream, but we can't merge hunters together. We can only merge like military units, so that's why I just make the one slinger to investigate here. We can't merge them forever. You can only do it once to make it one size larger than it would normally be. So it we won't really see that many um, we won't see that many animals get captured until we get to hunting tactics because that'll give us our actual hunters that we lost the first session early on. I mean late in the first session. Hunters are known for attacking animals. I mean, they're not known for attacking actual human units, but they're really good against animals. They have a good attack modifier against them, and they're more likely to subdue than military units. But with that, that is the last bit of this analysis slash interlude. Next episode will be session 3. I expect a lot more will be done. I mean, we're last interlude we're 44 texts away from tribalism. Now we're just pretty much there. Eight um, 8 technologies away from it. We'll see what happens, but once we do get the fire making, we lose the captured fire natural wonder. So, but by then we'll probably have already used up the captured fire to update our civics because tribalism gives a lot of civic changes, and so does no, not slavery, but mysticism. Yeah, don't really care that much about it because we don't have a religion. The third religion I didn't talk about is Tangreism. That's what I'm planning on grabbing as our religion. It gives a lot of it gives bonuses, but I won't go into that until the next interlude. So this is it for this interlude for real now. Next episode will be the start of session 3, and chances are the next interlude might just be me chatting away or using a notepad, but that's pretty much it. Next episode, session 3, and that's pretty much it. I'm Ninja Zombie Zero, and see ya.